The Flash actor, Ezra Miller, arrested for allegedly throwing a chair at a woman. So I don't know, does he hate Hawaii more?
This dude hates women.
He hates chairs.
He hates...
When he sees a woman,
He just has to throw something at
He
it.
just
he's
throw,
like, damn it, I'm done.
I thought it was that he hated karaoke at first, and maybe that he hated
But
bars.
maybe it's just when women are singing karaoke.
That could be.
That actually
He
checks
could
out.
have a very big problem with karaoke, bars, women,
And chairs.
and chairs. At this point, I have to wonder if like he's just trying to like get in. Like maybe he doesn't
okay.
want in the Flash anymore.
This came to mind. I think he's self-sabotaging his career because he can't handle success.
Maybe.
Yeah. Like that's scary. Like I mean, I can understand that. Like you feel like you've hit this place where you're not sure if you can handle all that's coming at you. Like I've felt that at times as well. I mean, I've never thrown a chair at a human female as a way of getting out of that. But you know, whatever
But
works.
you never know what's coming.
If you've got the money for bail, I suppose you can go that way.
I want to know
possible.
what type of chair it was.
Oh yeah, I want to know too. I guess it only left like a half-inch gash in her forehead, so it wasn't
The
as
fact that it left any gash is
been-
bad
yeah,
to
he
me.
shouldn't have
Yikes.
I think he might have really bad imposter syndrome, and I think it's possible that he lacks the emotional maturity to handle being in such a high position, which I've seen.
Explain for people what imposter syndrome is.
Imposter syndrome is where you reach a point in your life where you feel like you're not entitled to be there. I guess a lot of professionals, including medical professionals, get it because they go through school and they do all this stuff and they become, like, for example, a doctor. And they're like, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm doing. Is this how it is for everyone? I'm just an imposter. I shouldn't be here. So
I feel that way every single day.
yeah, I mean, it's a struggle. Yeah.
It's interesting that he would be having imposter syndrome because that's
think
like
I
the
suggested this-
extreme lack of entitlement, while the rest of celebrities can have like an extreme level of entitlement to their
Yeah.
position.
I'm not sure if I buy imposter syndrome. I think there's a lack of enforcement here from both his
Yes.
studio and the culture at large that's not holding. And
Enablers.
by the way, I'm going to preface this ahead of time so that I don't get in trouble. I'm going to just refuse. I'm going to use standard American pronouns. Not out of disrespect for him, but out of the fact that I simply will not be able to remember them in the phrase that he would like. So I'm just going to do that. And I'm apologizing in advance. Please do not
We're
throw a chair at me.
so
I don't
sorry,
mean anything by it. I'm just
Dudes,
trying to
ladies.
discuss this in a way that's as charitable as possible for both sides. And I don't want a chair thrown at me. I'm not going to play karaoke. Please give me some leeway here. So it says Ezra Miller has been arrested again in Hawaii, this time for allegedly throwing a chair that hit a woman in the forehead. So, I mean, he's got good aim. He could have played Deadshot.
Yeah, not bad.
That would have been great. Hawaii Island Police Department booked the Flash star 29 early Tuesday morning and is facing a second-degree assault charge. Page 6 confirmed. According to a press release from the police department, Miller was at a private residence in Lower Puna. I'm assuming that's how you pronounce that. I'm going to skip over some of the... I don't know how to pronounce a lot
Hawaiian Islands?
of the... Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce it. I watched a lot of Hawaii Five-0, and that is my extent
Didn't
of...
impart anything.
It
to
did
you.
not impart anything. Though I think we could get Steve McGarrett over there to give him a talking to.
We were joking about how they were gonna like draw a chalk line around the
Oh my
chair on the
gosh.
floor.
That's a great idea.
And he allegedly became angry after being asked to leave. So he was at somebody's private residences, and they asked him to leave, and he's like, maybe
dare you."
Maybe he's just looking for a good night's sleep, because this happened the other time when he was at that that one group of people, that husband and wife's house, and this happened. Maybe dude's just trying to take a nap, and he just can't get
Bro,
it. So
book
he's
a hotel.
you've got the money, dude.
Yeah.
They allegedly, and I will use the pronouns that they use in the article. They allegedly threw a chair which hit a 26-year-old female on the forehead and resulted in a half-inch cut. Miller was reportedly arrested at a traffic stop around 1:30 a.m., released from jail at around 4 a.m. The investigation is still ongoing. Like I'm picturing like they've got like they got like the lasers that show trajectory, like that shows like where he threw the chair.
They're using protractors.
Yeah,
all out.
and it becomes an episode of CSI. that I would absolutely watch.
I
Like,
would totally watch it.
in late March, Miller, who identifies as non-binary and uses they/them pronouns, again, I apologize.
Love that every article has to mention it.
Yep, was arrested. Well, there maybe
It's
for
confusing.
it may be
Yeah.
for the people reading the article. They're like, they what?
It's almost
They
like
do
it doesn't make
chair.
sense.
And again,
Yeah.
like I said, I am going to be charitable. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just trying to be able
Yes.
to give my flow and thoughts as freely as possible. Because last time I tried to do this, I kept getting caught. Well, it wasn't last time, but the time before that, I kept screwing it up and then stopping, and it doesn't
Trying
make
to
for a
fix it.
good. As far as I'm concerned, that is soft censorship. Ezra Miller was arrested for assault on Hawaiian Tuesday. So it says they were at karaoke time. They're talking about it. He keeps getting out on these like small amounts of like $500.
$500.
Like that's very minimal for like he probably carries that around in his pocket, I am sure.
Yeah.
So I just don't know if what
His
they're going to do.
mugshot is so like pitiful. Just the look in his eyes.
He's very
that top
smirky.
one.
He's very
The lower
smirky.
one, he's very smirky.
So he's like, I'm here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. he's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm here again. What am I supposed to do? And then of course they talk about his famous incident where he impersonated the Undertaker. With the woman from
Right.
Reykjavik, where
the heck was
he
that?
very lightly choke slammed a woman to the ground. So I really do think that.
Extreme restraint in choke slamming a
Jeez.
woman to the ground.
So I mean, is the idea that I mean, sure, he's thrown a chair at a woman. He threatened a woman at a bar. He threatened a woman
He
and a
lunged
husband
at a man in a bar.
In a bar, but maybe when you think about how many people he comes in contact on a daily basis, this ratio is still pretty good. I mean, I haven't like.
I haven't assaulted anyone ever.
Me neither.
My ratio's better than his.
I'm just saying, but I'm saying, like, in the grand scheme of things,
On average, when you're
yes.
in a bar with Ezra Miller, he
so
will
bad.
not choke slam
He
you.
probably will not choke slam you.
the idea would be that
The odds are
um,
good, but the goods are odd.
Yeah, really.
I would hope that maybe if you're like when his friends hang out with him now, he suggests the bar and they just kind of lightly
I'm
push
wondering,
the
like,
conversation.
Does he have friends and like any kind of support system?
That would-
He seems like he's just totally alone out there and
Yeah.
like just
kinda
getting
sad.
into more of these situations all the time.
I
And
feel
just spiraling.
like it feels like a spiral,
Yeah.
like he's spiraling to me. And like at this point, what the hell can Warner Brothers do? Because remember, all his stuff he's got coming out are all Warner Brothers properties. Fantastic Beasts just came out last weekend.
Oh my gosh,
to a movie that nobody cared about. It made like $43 million,
Yeah.
and it's a Harry Potter based franchise. And it says he was so this other article talks about this, but I also have this article from, we got this covered that says DC fans don't see how Ezra Miller has a future as the Flash. I don't see how the studio is going to have any choice soon and have to actively remove him.
Yeah.
So it says, F. Ezra Miller, cast Grant Gustin as the Flash, reshoot Ezra's scenes. That's never going to happen. I think this movie's already pretty much done. This one's getting done. They could absolutely find a way, maybe in a post-credit scene, to use the Flashpoint paradox to change out what he looks like. The death
I think
to
they need to just get it out and just wash their hands of it.
the
Yeah.
death
Over
of
with.
creativity. So it says the Flash has already been delayed for 5 years. Well, I mean, it's here. This is interesting. This person says, where is A greater than that? What that stands for is accountability over entertainment, which is a phrase championed by the guy who played Cyborg in those movies, who took great issue with Walter Hamada and Jeff Johns, who run the studio, because he felt that they did not treat him fairly, along with Joss Whedon when they were making Ray Fisher when they were making the Justice League movie. So he started hashtagging everything with A greater than E, because accountability is more important than entertainment. Which to me, whenever I say that, I said it's not enough to just not be an activist. I am actively anti-activist.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think entertainment over accountability.
Yeah.
Of course.
And in Hollywood, the idea of accountability being greater is laughable, because that's just not how Hollywood works.
Accountability, or what they say is accountability, is their entertainment. Just
Yes.
depersoning and dogpiling.
Bro, he got arrested twice. What do you want from us fans to do? Not watch the Flash movie? We weren't planning to anyways.
Oh my god.
So this guy is not.
I'm more likely to watch it just because of all the
now
drama.
I'm kind of amused. Yeah.
It'll be hilarious if he
Yeah.
if the movie turns into like him, because he's gonna be saving women in the movie.
It's just like
and
great
stuff.
material.
This
for
is
memes.
very, very he will truly be like a great actor if he can show himself like choke slamming men to
It's
protect
impressive.
women.
Yeah.
Like running very,
Like-
running very flash fast to protect women that he would never be able to
But
protect
he
in the
needs
real
to
world.
start method acting that he wants to save women. And
Like
this
in the
would
real
fix
world?
this whole
Yeah.
problem.
Maybe it turns
Method acting, extreme
Extreme method
dedication
acting.
to the craft.
Mads Mikkelsen was wrong. We need
Yes.
Ezra Miller to start method acting in real life.
Changed his whole life, turned it all around.
If he could just try to be the Flash in the real world and
Just
live up
run
to those
really fast.
live up to those ideals that these characters are supposed to represent. It says Ezra Miller is not well. This is a pattern of violent behavior. This continued behavior isn't just me saying they should be taken off future Flash projects. I'm saying they need to get serious help.
Exactly.
Which is a very, very honest, fair, and reasonable take from
Compassionate.
someone.
Yeah, it is.
They're not saying that they don't want him to do well in life. They're saying that maybe for their own self-interest or for their own interest, it would be good for them to maybe take some time away from what they're doing and try to sort these issues out. And we poke fun, and I am poking fun, and I don't mean to be super disrespectful, but I do think there is a certain point where it becomes beyond parody, and it's like, I can't not make these jokes.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, I imagine
The absurdity of
somebody
it.
needs to do a thing with him, the Flash, running through a furniture store and then running through a bar. And just having him in chairs go flying and hit people.
It's fertile ground for memes, for sure.
Okay, so here's another thing. How has is this something Saturday Night Live would make fun of?
I would hope so.
The show Ezra Miller running really fast to go throw a chair at somebody,
Probably.
running really fast to go to a bar. Maybe he got interrupted at a bar and he has to run really fast to the next bar.
Yes.
And that's where all the stuff takes place.
Gotta hit all the bars in Hawaii to throw chairs at individual women.
And what's up with Hawaii? Why does he hate Hawaii so much?
No.
He needs to leave Hawaii.
Yeah,
This
he
is a
needs,
problem area for him.
It doesn't work well.
It's a
well, Iceland
trigger.
wasn't any better, to be fair. It's islands. Something about
He's
islands.
just switching climates. And
Yeah,
it's,
he
it's
can't
getting
do
him
it.
all frazzled.
Yeah.
We
I
need to
know.
get him on dry land.
Yes.
We
Yeah,
need
my
to get
man.
him in
Continental U.S.
the middle
Like
of
a
America.
sensory deprivation tank,
Yes.
maybe?
That would be
Iowa. Same
Iowa
thing.
deprivation
Same
tank.
thing. Yeah.
Idaho, Iowa, any of
Ohio,
those
yeah.
those middle states where he can make him run through cornfields and stuff
Yes.
like that.
Decompress.
The solution is so much more than recast Ezra Miller and delay the Flash. This is a recurring thing, and they seriously need some kind of help. Stop thinking about stupid superhero movies for 5 seconds. Oh, they are thinking of the superhero movies. They're also thinking of the socio-political backlash that comes from holding someone who is of a protected class
Yep.
to account. I mean, no disrespect, again, but he needs to be held. They need to be held to account
Ezra
for their
needs to be held to
actions.
account. I think that that's part of the reason that the Hawaii police are also treating him with kid gloves. That's why his bail is so low. No one is going to touch this just because he identifies as this certain thing. So at what point can we stop saying this isn't actually a victim status? This is you are the winner in
What
culture.
about his victims?
Exactly.
What about that poor chair? What about the
Yeah,
poor
what about that
woman?
poor lady?
What about the lady at the bar? What about
What
the
about the owner of the bar?
What about the husband and wife that he threatened? I'm just this is common sense, people. I've stayed mostly silent on this, but this has gone too far. Ezra Miller needs to be fired from all current projects, and the Flash needs to be recast. Yes, it's obvious they're going through a severe mental health crisis, but it's not an excuse. I mean, all of these takes are reasonable. Every single person here that's given these takes, you'd think these are hot takes. They're all respecting the pronouns. They're all being very cordial in how they're doing this.
Right.
They're just saying he needs help right now.
100%.
Having choked out a fan in Iceland 2 years ago and then being arrested in quick succession in the space of weeks, dumping the perks of being a Wallflower alum from the most high-profile gig of their young career almost certainly wouldn't be conducive to arresting such a worrying slide. Putting all parties in a delicate but potentially very sticky position. No, I think right now the only people only Warner Brothers is in a sticky position. His sticky position is created by
Yep.
is been imposed on by their own actions. As far as I'm concerned, the studio's the one being put in the sticky position because of social pressure.
Yeah.
While The Flash is guaranteed to hit theaters as scheduled, most likely with Miller in the lead, the question of what comes next will be getting sooner rather than later, especially with new boardroom style. They've got Zaslav over at Warner Discovery, who's going to be taking a far more hands-on approach to how they handle this type of thing. They could do some clever marketing where he's not at any of the premieres because they say he's already run really fast to the next premiere.
Oh, yeah. Just pretend he's dashing around.
Yes, he's there. He's just already been there and gone
You didn't
because of the Speed
Too
Force.
fast. It's true.
I think that's what they need to do for this. I feel bad for everyone involved in this situation, but it's like this is what they pay the studio execs the big bucks for.
Yep.
When you wonder why like they make millions of dollars, it's because this some dude is pulling his hair out in a boardroom right now, and his publicist is like writing these furious notes, and they have like no idea, like they're rewriting it 9 times because they don't know how to. They keep screwing up the pronouns because they don't understand it at the studio level. They don't get it.
This is exactly why executive level people get paid the big bucks, because their jobs are stressful. I totally get it. They make more money. They got more stress. Sorry. That's the way it goes.
A lot of people don't like that take. I agree wholeheartedly.
Well,
it's the way of the world.
If Ezra is going to get fired from The Flash, he doesn't have a future as The Flash. How is he going to have a future anywhere else if he knows that, if everyone now knows that he's difficult to work with and unstable all the time? How is he going to get a job anywhere else? He's kind of like cornered himself off into this role.
Yeah.
An interesting idea about that is that these a lot of people who are on their side of the socio-political spectrum don't really believe very heavily in redemption, but this would be a great redemption arc if he was to turn his life their life around and be kind of get back on the ball as far as their mental health and pull around and become very, very professional in their career. And careers have survived far worse than what we're seeing here. It's just the quick nature in which it's happening, and in the scope of the role he's playing makes it easy to talk about. But it's not like there aren't careers that have gone through much worse. It just may take time away from the spotlight.
I think he might end up being one of those people who is genuinely uncancelable. I don't know if you guys have ever seen, I'm thinking more of political figures, but there are people out there who seemingly cannot be canceled. They just keep coming back.
He's mainly guilty of like physical violence, and these days that is less cancelable than saying bad words.
Right.
So
as long as he doesn't say the wrong thing, he should be okay. And isn't that like the most messed up thing to ever? Isn't that like
he speaks with his fists?
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah,
which is apparently okay these days.
Not good.
It's a searing indictment on today's society. That is for sure.
It is.
Thanks for watching this clip, guys. If you want to see full episodes or follow us on social media, links are in the description below. Bye.